quickly delve into the thought behind the formation of Hyvar, and also how critical is the IT services sector for the construction industry?
First, regarding how Hyvar was formed. HCC Group traditionally has been on the forefront of IT usage within the industry. It has taken leadership position on IT usage for long. And that's why we were one of the first ones, or the first ones, to implement world-class software like SAP in this industry. During the evaluation process, as well as during the implementation process, what we realized is that IT industry in India is not much aware, or at least at that time was not much aware of this sector. Because IT industry of India is more export oriented. 80-90% IT industry works for US or Europe. Within the rest, in India, within the rest 10-20%, out of that 90% goes to some sectors like banking, retail, insurance, manufacturing, automobile, these kind of sectors. So infrastructure sector gets a very low mind share of Indian IT industry, because of which the domain knowledge of this industry, or the challenges of this industry, or the issues of this industry, what will work in this industry, what will not work, that kind of know-how was seriously lacking in the Indian IT industry, which is what we as HCC experienced and got frustrated with it at times. That we were getting mapped to say manufacturing industry, and those solutions were posed for us, but that is not the right solution because our challenges are different. So we realized that overall in the IT industry, there is a serious lack of domain expertise with regard to this industry. Secondly, if you see last 20 years, in India this industry has grown phenomenally. Small cap companies have become mid cap companies have quickly become large cap. I mean, the growth, leave aside last 2-3 years, but prior to that, growth of this industry surprised this industry players also. So industry is growing that rapidly, and it had come to a point even at that time where managing this business without world-class IT support was not becoming possible. And the growth is in India even now. Infrastructure is a serious limitation in India's growth. So any government will have no choice but to keep investing in infrastructure. So infrastructure industry over next 20 years also has a good time ahead. From that perspective, industry will need world-class IT. IT industry, in terms of their domain understanding of this industry, there is a gap. And these are the two dimensions. The third dimension is, we as HCC Group are leaders in not only in construction processes, but also in their automation. So we possess the domain knowledge as well as technology skill. If you put all these three things together, any entrepreneur will feel an opportunity, which is what we also felt. And when we studied, we realized that opportunity is much bigger than what we anticipated. Because opportunity is not only in India, it is globally also. Globally also, infrastructure industry's IT usage was lower compared to other industries globally. So there again there is a need. Infrastructure development is happening massively in Asia, it is happening in the Middle East. Everywhere infrastructure is getting developed, and the need is acute. There is a need for somebody who understands this industry and also understands IT. And when we realize that there is so much of potential, and we have caliber, we have capability, as a group, it was debated for quite some time. Some of the concerns were addressed, and then it was decided to get into with a clear focus on this industry, work for this industry, and try to create your own impression by taking a vision that we would like to change the way this industry works through use of IT. So that's the kind of vision with which it started, and then the company was conceptualized. Company was conceptualized with the vision that we will be end-to-end IT service provider to infrastructure industry. We will provide end-to-end services. Although we started with SAP because that is our strength area when we started, we will not end there. We would like to expand in other services so that we are end-to-end service provider to infrastructure industry. So the vision is that if any organization in the industry wants to do IT, first name they should recall should be infrastructure, should be Hyvar. That is, I mean, that kind of vision was there with which company was formed. About name of the company also, there is a good history to it. We had appointed Landor, one of the best branding agency in the world, for this exercise. Between Landor and us, we came out with a lot of names, and it's the chairman's vision who wanted company name to depict what business we are in. And after a lot of debate, discussions, we realized that we are in the business of improving efficiencies. Why people use IT? To improve efficiencies. So we are in IT services, so we are in the business of improving efficiencies. So if we are in the business of improving efficiencies, our name should depict that. And that's why improving efficiencies means raising the bar.
Yeah.
And that's where high bar. And that is how the name was evolved, that is how the company was evolved. And now let me talk about your second part B of your question with regard to what can IT do to construction industry. I think that is what your question is. If you again go back in times by 20 years, and if you see what this industry was 20 years back and what the industry is now, there is a substantial change in the way industry was operating then and industry is operating now. There is a good amount of change in terms of what is expected from this industry also. And all that change that has happened is, lot of it is technology enabled. We now have many more sophisticated automated equipment that work for construction compared to what it was earlier. Right from surveying, things have totally shifted to more and more automation levels. That means IT has, not IT but technology has created a good amount of change in the past 20 years in construction industry. We believe that information technology can create similar change in next 20 years in IT industry, in the construction industry. That's the kind of potential. If you look at what IT has done to banking, I mean, when we were in schools, the way banking was done and the way banking is done now, there is 180-degree change or 360-degree change. Most of that change is IT driven. Today, you are not required to visit bank branch for months or for years, because bank comes to you through technology. If banking can undergo so much of change because of infrastructure industry, because of information technology, infrastructure industry can also undergo similar kind of transformation through information technology, is what we are convinced about, and that is what we would like to drive as a vision going forward. There is a substantial change possible, substantial potential to improve efficiencies exist, which can be mined through usage of information technology. And that's what we would like to drive.
Okay.